Every year, I meet with patriots from across the country who proudly support Turning Point USA at very generous levels. And then they mention to me they're also giving 6, sometimes 7-figure gifts to their alma maters. And they're very well intentioned, but unfortunately, a lot of these gifts are only adding ammunition and fuel to the fire to help the radical left. Administrations then pour those resources into lecture halls where students are being indoctrinated, not educated. The radical anti-American left have hijacked our universities, and any further contribution to those universities is a contribution to that force of destruction. Now, mind you, there's a couple good colleges out there, Liberty University, Hillsdale, but they're a small minority of a vast sea of leftist indoctrination and tyranny. And for that reason, Turning Point USA is proud to announce our newest initiative, DivestU. DivestU is Turning Point's most aggressive project yet to combat rampant leftism at universities by striking colleges where they are most vulnerable, their wallets. Anti-American indoctrination can only thrive on college campuses thanks to multi-billion-dollar endowments, fueled and funded mostly by the generosity of alumni, some of whom are among Turning Point USA's most generous supporters. DivestU will identify how the radicals embedded themselves in the universities, how the universities themselves are funded, and work to strip them of their resources. Just to offer one example of the radicalism being funded by alumni donations. Did you know dozens of professors on university campuses all across the country have recently endorsed, promoted, and even put their name behind the domestic terror group Antifa? In fact, the Campus Anti-Fascist Network was co-founded by professors from universities as prestigious as Stanford. This is what we're up against. If you're wondering how these universities have been getting tens of billions of dollars in their endowments, like Stanford and Harvard, most times it's because of conservative alumni that have been writing millions and millions of dollars of checks to our universities. These universities then use these massive gifts not to help students with tuition, not to help students understand the fabric or history of our country, but instead, they expand their endowments to over $30-40 billion and use that as a funding mechanism of the most radical elements in higher education. This is the reason we are losing our country. This is the root cause. Thankfully, the mission, the idea of DivestU, which is to get over 1,000 donors and supporters to divest $1 billion nationwide, is already resonating with several supporters. Now understand, conservatives typically do not divest dollars from certain institutions. But here's a question. What is the breaking point? Where is the line? Where do we decide that we are no longer going to voluntarily contribute our hard-earned money that you probably worked decades to earn to universities and to centers of learning to teach our kids to hate our country? And that is why I'm thrilled to announce that we have already received pledges from 3 of Turning Point USA's top supporters to fully divest their gifts from their alma maters and other supported colleges and universities. So join me in divesting from these dangerous institutions of indoctrination. Until we pull our gifts from higher education, they will never hear our concerns and they'll never take conservative thought seriously. Together, we can work to bring down these islands of totalitarianism in America and work to make this country a place where the free exchange of ideas is celebrated, not condemned. Join us today at Turning Point USA in celebrating the divestment of your dollars from higher education. Our universities are determined to destroy our country. It's time to stop funding them.